Vishram Sapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Vadanti Savadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuta Padgamnam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sahajatam Sahagana Natam Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadetam Savadutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Vekta Shri Vishakam Tam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Varishthaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौर तुसे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुमेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today's session going to be very eye-opener, going to be very transformative, and especially Matajis are going to have a lot of questions today. So hear it attentively. And also is very much opener. So three parts we are going to see in today's session. First part is modern civilization versus Vedic civilization. Right? So what questions you have about Vedic civilization will be discussed today, and you can ask questions. Second thing we're going to discuss about how the devotees feel love for Krishna, how the devotees feel separation from Krishna, and how Krishna's name, form, and qualities and pastimes are not different from Krishna. There. And third thing we're going to discuss about Vedic women versus modern women. Right? So there a lot of questions will come. So don't take anything in a wrong spirit. Everything is for the purpose of right spirit. So because we are in a modern culture and we're talking about the Vedic culture, so things will look little this. But see, as this is a cultural presentation, Bhagavatam also talk about the culture in the Vedic time. And what culture we can implement today is given in Srila Prabhupada's purport. And that's why when we learn the Vedic culture, the Vedic etiquettes, the thing, it helps us to grow in Krishna consciousness. It helps us to grow spiritually. So take it in a right manner with it. So therefore, before only I'm saying, if you get any questions, you are free to ask there. Even you have challenging questions also. Ki aisa kyun bol rahe? I'm ready for that also. Right? There. So don't shy. Especially Matajis will have questions after the today's presentation. So you feel free to ask all questions. And we have answers to all the questions. Right? So but watch it carefully what we are going to present today, because today's sessions has a lot of cultural stuff with devotion to Krishna. And as we see till now, from 8th chapter, it began that Krishna saved. Krishna was just leaving. Then Kunti offered the prayers, but then Yudhishthira told, Hare Krishna, stay back. The 9th chapter, we talk that how Yudhishthira had a problem. He didn't want to become the king, but Bhishma Dev convinced Yudhishthira to become the king. So now Yudhishthira has become a king. Krishna did his duty. It's now time to leave from. Indraprastha Hastinapur has come. Now Hastinapur is ruled by Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Krishna is leaving. So this today's chapter 10 chapter is about Krishna leaving from Hastinapur. Then the 11th chapter is about Krishna entering Dwaraka. So 2 chapters. भगवान एक जगह से निकलते हैं तो एक चैप्टर बनता है, भगवान दूसरे जगह पहुंचते हैं तो एक चैप्टर बनता है. And we can learn so many beautiful lessons from this. And that's why this chapter is very, very important. And I hope you're eager to learn about what we're going to discuss today. And so let's begin with and I would like to thank our Vishnu Prabhu who made the PPT for today's presentation. He gave a time. He got a PPT from AI. I said, I don't like this AI PPT. Then he personally made the PPT. So I think we'll give the service to Vishnu Prabhu to make PPT for session. It came out good. And I just made some modifications. The departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka. So this is just righteous rule. See now why the whole Mahabharata war happened. What was the purpose Sri Krishna had? See, the whole material world has two purposes. if you see, the whole material world has two purposes. Can any say what two purposes is whole material? Actually, it's one only, but if you divide that one into two, it has two purposes. So can anyone say what are the two purposes this material world has? Yes, Keshav.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. It is, I think, ultimately it's to purify our consciousness and attain love for God.
Yeah, purify consciousness. Okay, before that, very nice. This is the ultimate goal. But two goals, when you say what the second goal, we can say.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
So two goals I said, no? Two goals.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So see, Lord gave the universe because see, people come to this world to enjoy. So Lord has created things for mental enjoyment. To ultimately learn that they can't enjoy without Lord. And finally, purify their consciousness to go back home back to Godhead and listen Krishna Eka Sharna. We need shelter of Shri Krishna. That's the ultimate purpose of the material world. So now for that to happen, if people like Duryodhana ruling, can then that happen? Now what is if people like Duryodhana ruling, can that purpose get solved of the Lord? So that purpose only can get solved when people like Yudhishthira are ruling, who are the devotees of Lord. So Lord wants his devotees to rule the world because that will only solve the purpose of material world. And therefore Krishna did all this Mahabharata war to establish Yudhishthira as a king because the purpose of creating this world is solved. You get my point? The creating the world is solved. See, Lord has not made this world for our enjoyment. Lord has made this world for our purification. And so we fulfill our desire and get purified over upon and come back to Him. That's why this material world is made. And that purpose is put only when Lord's devotee is a king. Because He induces everybody to devotional service. See, if a king takes, like the government decided we'll have Ram Mandir. So they did such a grand opening, isn't it? So if king is a devotee, if king wants to lead people to devotional service, it becomes easy there. And therefore, Sri Prabhupada talk about if king is pious, the whole material nature also supports there. And economic development. So those concepts that are coming, so just building upon them. So Lord wants suffering human beings to come back to Him and cease to suffer the threefold mental pangs. The whole plan of creation made in that way, and one who does not come to senses, suffer in the material world by pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of Lord. The Lord, therefore, so illusory energy first tempt people to enjoy. When people enjoy, then illusory energy gives them suffering. But Lord, ultimate result is that people get relief from this. And it's said that during the Yudhishthira's righteous rule, Kamam Vavarsha Parjanya Sarva Kama Dugamani Sheshishu Sma Vrajan Gava Payoso Davasti Mudaha. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, the clouds showered all the water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with milk. The rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, they gave king. So can you imagine? And that time, all necessities came. There were no much anxieties also. like like even during the time while Yudhishthir was ruling, the living entity suffered no anxieties. No sickness happened. No inconvenience caused by nature. No COVID, no heat, no much, and summer and rainy season are also very balanced. Ati Varshe, and that happened. But when that doesn't happen, what happens? Art of progress of plunder. So much cow slaughter is happening. So Prashra proper writes in the purport, very amazing point to understand this. Anybody like to read? Or maybe I choose somebody to read. Okay, Puja Mataji will read. Puja Khandari Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Can I read?
Yeah, please read.
The artificial way of living, depending on factories and tools, can render so called happiness only to a limited number at the cost of millions. Since the energy of the mass of people is engaged in factory production, the natural products are being hampered, and for this, the mass is unhappy. Without being educated properly, the mass of people are following in the footsteps of the vested interest by exploiting natural reserves, and therefore there is acute competition between
Individual
individual and nation.
and nation. Okay, I'm going to talk something very special. Are you ready to hear it and understand it? Now, my one question is, if you need food in a village, what you need to do? If you need to eat a chapati in a village, what you need to do?
Grow your own crops, Prabhuji.
Yeah, बाजू में बाजू में खेत है, खेत को काटो, गेहूं निकालो, चक्की में पीसो, आटा बना के खा लो, right? Now same thing when you have to do in city, you have to eat a chapati in city. What you need to do?
Just order it online.
Chapati,
No, wheat flour.
wheat flour. But how that wheat flour comes to you? Now, have you thought? Though it's very easy to just order wheat flour, but what it takes to get that wheat flour to you?
There's a supply chain from the village to the city.
So what all takes from supply chain? Very good. So what it takes from the supply chain from village to here?
There are from the farmers, then the middlemen's coming and delivering to the kirana shops or the supermarkets, and then
No. First, farmer takes in the truck to
yeah,
floor. Now, for truck, what do you need?
a driver,
Tire industry, steel industry, automobile industry,
the
and
support.
petroleum industry. So all these industries you need.
Yeah,
Then second, what you need now, floor mill you need electrical industry, electricity and thing. Then to packaging the market, then you need supermarkets and you need packaging industry. And to manage overhead of everything, you need software industry.
Yeah, true.
Now, when you take it from village directly, does any of the industries require?
No middlemen, no, nothing.
So that's what the modern civilization has become. So many industries, and people have to work so hard. And what at the end you get is one grain of food. Same for chapatis. So what you are getting in home without working hard, just with the crops, to get the same thing, so much hard work is done.
Correct.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
The same thing. See, at the end, what in a village you ate a chapati when you were childhood, वही चपाती खाने के लिए इतनी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है there, and only few people are engaged in producing the crops, and all others are doing the overhead work to bring it to the city. Any question upon this, or all of you agree what I just said now? With this concept, people don't think about it. Now, one boy said, "What about our enjoyment? What we are getting? How we'll watch movies? How we will, do all those things? So much is coming at that cost there. So, what about that?"
But many people, like in my village also, I have a house in village also. So there people don't like farming. They are like, there are, let's suppose snakes are there, rats are there, and all those stuff. Then storage is there. Even my father left, like, we are having a lot of field, but my father doesn't do farming. He will rent it to somebody who will do the farming, take half of the crop and all those stuff.
Then also it's good, no?
So that is happening. Half of the crop, whoever are doing the farming, real farming. So my father will provide them all the stuff, like whatever they need, and then they will grow it. Half they will keep, half they will give to us. So like that. But like my father, he doesn't like farming, right?
This is so. This is because the city culture going even to the villages. All movie going, which has produced dislike for the Vedic culture, right or not? There, but if you see the previous values, when people valued farming, there, like
Yeah, I understand, but there is a struggle in that life. So I think people want little rested life, luxurious life. Because I have seen my home, there were big storehouses where we used to, in my childhood I'm talking, I have seen those stuff. There was a mill for sugar cane, like the this one good, we used good was there and all those. But it requires a lot of effort, and a lot of people have to come together for a
Ah,
season, for a
yes,
season.
yes. It requires a
So
lot of efforts. I agree with this. That is
mhm.
true. But now is less effort required to manage everything and get things here.
Yeah, and one more thing is, now people are getting, when they will put their rice in rice mills, they will get little more money when they, they're like for family, you have enough for 1 year, let's suppose for now. But then rest of you will give to rice mill. Those rices are only coming to Bangalore city and all those stuff. That
So
I know.
previously also, if you have excess money, you will get a lot of money for the food sale. In not in rice mill, but different ways you can sell your grains and things there. This is a barter.
Yeah, but I have seen this farming culture going away, even though we have a lot of field actually at our
Yes,
village.
village is lost village we say.
No, because we don't have that kind of like sugarcane used to come to our town from village to town. Now they don't come. Now so many things are gone actually.
Hmm. Okay, Anukul Prabhuji,
Hare
you will
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
then yes, Mataji.
I just wanted to share, Prabhu, I have seen the culture from where at home हम लोग चक्की चला के आटा बनाते थे, सारे मसाले घर में पीसते थे. And now if you tell me to do it today, I won't be able to do it. I mean, I have done it.
Because
Right?
you lost the habit.
No, it's not. It's lost the habit. Probably like slowly. Like even at home, you had private. धीरे धीरे पानी नीचे चला गया. Hand pumps, like the culture of having a bath underneath the hand pump or filling it went down, and then like the waters went down. Then you needed a motor. Then like when you had so much of cows, मक्खन निकालना बहुत मुश्किल. We used to do it in a washing machine. You won't believe it. मक्खन हम लोग washing machine में निकाला करते थे. And प्रभु लाइक घर में वो चक्की नहीं पीसा जाता था. अगर 10-5 आदमी आ जाता है, मेरे को नहीं पीसने का, लेकिन then we had machines, and I've come from the chakki to the flour mill, and during the time period now, आज स्विगी से खाना आता है, इन पैकेट्स में मैदा आ रहा है, like as like okay, Prabhupada ji कहते हैं, I won't say convenient because being practical, no, like if he says, then there is some shortcoming in us. But then Prabhu,
how to
when you're
understand this
growing,
thing?
yes, when you're growing, all these things is bound to happen.
Bound to happen. Now my question is, let us see what many diseases also come because of this lifestyle.
So, but people lifestyle diseases come. पहले भी तो plague आया करता था. कितना yes, it's very clean. Exercise थी. गेहूं इतना साफ आता था. The toilets were so different. Like आज भी मेरे नाना के यहाँ toilets used to be out. I remember, like everything used to be. Now it is recycled and comes into the flushes again. So it's I mean the lifestyle you talk, I've seen both the ends of it.
Yes,
Like
yes.
it's not new. Like I can imagine. Huh? I mean, even to Brindavan, we used to be in a Jatka gadi, in a two-wheeler. I mean, there were no cars, only one or two. Like, yeah, in a Lad Sahib ke paas hi ek aadhi gadi rehti thi. Like, others gadi nahi, or nahi. Used to walk to the office. Used to just have 2 cycles. I'm sure Mataji, jo was talking about her father being a farmer, she also must have seen this sort of life in her childhood.
Yes.
Must have.
No, my father also used to have farms there. I also seen farm culture and things. And I agree. Certainly, there will be certain advantages in the lifestyle we're living, the comforts and things there. But if you see over point, the amount of work people do in today's lifestyle.
प्रभु जी जो गेहूं लेके आते थे, उनको क्या बोलते हैं, भांग खा के बैठ जाते थे, उनकी रोटियां बनानी मुश्किल हो जाती थी. अब लाइफस्टाइल see the workload that time was different, the workload now is different, but there is workload.
Yes.
खर्चे बढ़ गए हैं, lifestyle has changed. Like I mean, certain ways the society is not into a good this thing of becoming too permissive. The women have become too permissive or something. See, that I can agree. But when Prabhupada says there should be like so many of my friends, they go to the remote area, they build houses there, the way they live, they have their own cows. It's very much away from the hectic city life. It would be wonderful.
No
But just
stress, no tension, no depression, no suicides, isn't it?
Prabhu, abhi thoda bahut. I wish we had a life like that. No stress,
Right,
no
right, right.
tension, no suicide.
That's what the Vedic life was.
Yes.
And the modern life, though there is a physical comfort, but those all stress and anxiety has come on our mind. That's what we are not realizing it.
So प्रभु जब renunciation इतनी आ जाती है तो अपने आप stress free हो जाती है. When you don't want anything, then I mean the lifetime you have and I have also, there is a lot of difference, na Prabhu ji.
Yes, yes,
चलो,
yes.
this is ये chapter कहीं से कहीं चला जाएगा. Anyway.
Okay. So
Thank you.
we end this
Thank
discussion here. To conclude, I'm not saying we have to go back to the Vedic lifestyle right now. We can't do it in the city. In fact, it happens some devotees left this of their job, went to work in the fields. 2 हफ्ते में back pain हो गया, सब वापस आ गए. So, so it's not practical to give up your jobs and go to the fields and think. We can't do it the way we are caught up now. We can't do that. But at the same time, when Bhagavatam is speaking about, you should understand the Vedic culture was a full-fledged culture which has everything taken in care there. So don't get scared. We are telling to, okay, go back to the mantra. Just appreciate the previous Vedic lifestyle, because tomorrow any world war happen and you have to come to the previous lifestyle, you'll be happy. Right. So like in COVID, people were appreciating the village style. Village people, COVID आया पसीने में बह के चला गया for farmers, isn't it? But for city people who are living in AC, they were the most affected people. COVID रुक गया AC की हवा में there. But those who were the village farmers, वो उनके पसीने से निकल गया COVID. You don't hear much serious casualties with them there. So there are times we are appreciating the Vedic culture and things there in lifestyle, in the city lifestyle. So we should have that appreciation for the Vedic culture. That's why I wanted to put this point, and also take other point of the other side. So what's happening? The artificial way of living on factories and tools, only limited number of people are happy. Those who are mill owners, they are happy. But those who are working in the mills, they are not happy today. They have to drink a lot today for this there. And not everybody can be a mill owner. There. And since the energy of the mass of people is engaged in factory production, the natural products are being hampered, and for this mass is unhappy. So the handicraft business, all this has gone completely, if you see, the handlooms and things. So without being educated properly, the mass of people are following the footsteps of the vested interest of exploiting natural resources, and therefore there's a good competition between individual and nation. But just think, because AI has come, so much job recession has come. So many young boys are passing out from engineering colleges, they're not getting a job, and due to which they're getting a depression. Right? But farming could create so many jobs, right? You never have unemployment there. So if you see the total overall economy, the way it has taken shape, one lecture, even our Modi ji spoke about. अरे तुम्हें फार्मिंग करना है, सूट पहन के फार्मिंग करो, फार्मिंग करो, फार्म को छोड़ के मत आओ cities में. You get the point of how do we eat the food there. So the whole there. Another thing, what happens now, we do not know what kind of a lifestyle we are living. For example, why so many people are getting cancer and tumors, right? It's very high rate. The way people are turning 45, 50, so many complications are coming. Tumors, cancers, and I know so many people who have died because of cancer, tumors this recent past, and they is increasing a lot. The major reason is inorganic food, the fertilizer and pesticides in the food, the fast lifestyle, the kind of oils we are eating, then the 5G radiations, 4G radiations we are exposed to. That's leading a lot of change. And after hearing all that, I stopped using Wi-Fi. I put a LAN cable in my ashram, to avoid the radiations and things, because we don't know. Because by the time you research and find it out, it will be too late to know all this modern effects of the modern civilization. So everything comes with a price which you don't understand there. And we think, okay, now is a problem, we can go to the hospital. But then hospital, so many complications you go through and things there. The life. So life challenges have not gone. The challenges have been modern thing, but the peace of life, peace of heart that have been changed. So, what point I've been to say to bring this discussion, why I brought this point, the secret of happiness is not living organically, is to take refuge under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Without its sanction, nothing is possible. See, even in a village, if you don't take shelter of the Lord, then you will spend your money in drinking and all that. Then also you'll not be happy. And in city also, though you may be working as a software, but you every day do Mangalati, chant the holiness of the Lord, then even with this modern lifestyle, you could be happy without the stress. Right? That's the whole point. So it's not that we have to go, but the whole thing when we are in a living in a natural environment, to be devotee of God becomes much more easier than we are living in an artificial way of civilization. Plus, we should know that this is not the all in all. That today's modern civilization, what the way of going, that's not a very sustainable way of living. Now, to make economic development by our own endeavors on the strength of tool and machine at all, the sanction of the Supreme Lord must be there. Otherwise, despite all instrumental arrangement, everything is unsuccessful. Like in Bangalore last year, there was a heavy crisis for water. Many people, companies told, okay, go to your hometowns because water is not there. Now we don't know if the same thing will happen repeat this year or not, or worse in a worse way, a better way. We don't know how the situations come. So that goes to show no matter how much scientific advancement you do, how much city planning you do, but always unless Lord provides us water, we can't have water. Like Chennai, there was a serious drought a few years back, isn't it? There. And nothing could be done with it. So till the time Lord is giving us facilities, we can enjoy even the modern luxuries. So if we satisfy the Lord, then the material nature also gives the right necessities of life. So therefore, when Yudhishthir was ruling, automatically all necessities were coming. Then again, now question comes: why so much wars are happening? Why so many difficulties are happening? The answer is here. To be non-violent to human beings and to be a killer or enemy of the poor animals is Satan's class 3. In the say, there's enmity toward poor animals, and therefore the poor creatures are always anxious. The reaction of the poor animals is being forced on human society, and therefore there's always a strain of cold or hot war between man, individually, collectively, or nationally. So what happens? The reaction of poor animals is being forced on human society. You know, there is a 7 billion population planet Earth, and there are 72 billion animals in a year. And as a result, only the wars are happening. There is so much famines, so much droughts are coming because they're also part and parcel of the supreme heart there. So much animal killing is creating so much problem. So one Mataji was asking me, what about so much of, I fear so many world wars are happening, so many wars are happening. I said, wars are happening because people are killing so many animals. So mainly to two sins, cow slaughter and abortion. These are the two greatest sins which leads to world wars. And animal slaughters. So if we are killing Lord's children, see, animals are also Lord's children. If we are killing the Lord's children, the reactions will come to us. Then we see here, after the battle of Kurukshetra, Sri Hari, Lord Sri Krishna, resided in Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and please his own sister, Subhadra. Now, just think, Krishna would have a busy schedule. He's a supreme Lord. But for his sister, because Abhimanyu was dead, right? So Subhadra was very, very upset. So for her sister, Krishna stayed back for a few months. Can you imagine how much the love? People love their sisters, people love their daughter, people love their mothers there. So Vedic culture is deeply personal culture, being centered around God. Krishna reciprocates with the feeling of his devotees. So many others could have pacified Subhadra and Yudhishthir, but Krishna personally stayed back out of affection. That's how Lord loves his devotees. In a God-centered civilization, all exchanges are based on a mode of service with full consideration of others' feelings. Relationships and welfare of others is given more importance than economic or material advancement. So relationships are centered. Now people don't care for relationships, they more take care of money. And people, even relatives, have become so money-centric that they don't value each other. They value only money, so much fighting and so many things that happens, right? But at a Vedic time, people would value relationships. So now, see, this lady is working on a laptop and the cow is eating plastic. But in Vedic time, the lady is feeding the cow and the cow is happy, gives milk, and this is happening. So interests of one individual group do not clash with another's. Because everything has happened for the pleasure of God. There are no conflicts, religious conflicts. An industrial culture, rapid mechanization, we want everything faster. There is no time for loving exchanges, which very much satisfies the heart. The loving exchange satisfies the heart, but there is no time for it. Competition, exploitation become the norm, and due to which people get so much depression when they are not able to perform. They get so much a problem into this. Krishna stayed back. Modern societies often lacks a deep feeling of commitment and responsibility between family members or within community. When individuals are only interested in getting, see, you see this woman looks so happy, cooking for her family, and because now people have to go to gym because there is no physical exercises. So same endeavor they do in the gym because they have to maintain the health. But cooking for the family is so happy, so blissful. So Vedic society was based on a holistic approach in addressing our needs. Simple living, high thinking is a Vedic ideal, not like cage polishing culture of modern times. Sananya Chintayantam Mam Yajana Vipasate Tesham Nitya Bhaktanam Yukshemam Vamyam. So this is the verse number 22 of the 9th chapter of Gita. Talks about when a devotee is thinking of Krishna, Krishna takes care of his needs. So when the civilization is thinking of the Lord gives all the needs for the devotees, for the people. And now when Krishna is about to live, so this verse is a very beautiful verse. We talk about Satsangan Mukta Dusango. Previous side. Satsangan Mukta Dusango. Hatum Nausahate Buddha. Ketyamanam Yasho Yasya. Sakreda Karnerochanam. Tasminyastadiya Partha. Sahiran Viraham Katham. Darshana Sparsha Samlapa. Shayanasana Bhojanai. So what he was saying? Satsangan. Anybody has heard about the Supreme Lord in association of devotees, he cannot give up that hearing, right? Unless he takes bad association. That means you will go away from Krishna consciousness only when you take bad association. In bad association से अरे तुम क्या कर रहे हो, ये कोई एज है करने की, अभी तुम मस्ती करो, ये क्या जप माला लेके बैठ के हरे कृष्णा कर रही हो, then only you will feel not hearing about Krishna. करके. But if you don't take avoid bad association, keep associating with devotees, even once you have heard about Krishna, you want to hear it again and again. See, devotees have come for the 18th chapter of Gita, now they're coming here, and you want to hear again and again, don't want to leave hearing about Krishna. And of course, even those who could not come other due to some reason or other, they could not come, isn't it? Once you start chanting, now how many of you want to stop chanting after start chanting? None of us, isn't it? There. Anybody wants to stop chanting? Okay, we'll give you 1 lakh rupees, please stop chanting. I hope nobody is there. Okay, so you said, okay, you take 1 lakh rupees, but stop chanting. We will not do it because we're there. So that is what I say. Now just think of the Pandavas. They were dining with Krishna. They were talking with Krishna like family members, isn't it? That's the way they were living. Krishna will even become their messenger. Krishna will sit with them, talk with them, laugh with them. And now Krishna is leaving. So they were feeling so much separation with Krishna. Why? Krishna is a perfect. See, whatever role Krishna takes, he does it perfectly. In this world, you will see, you will not be satisfied with any relationship. बोले, ये गड़बड़ है इस relationship में, ऐसा नहीं हुआ, वैसा नहीं हुआ. Right? We'll have these questions or not. We'll not be satisfied in a relationship in this world. Whether it's a husband-wife relationship, whether it's a mother-child relationship, your expectation from the other person will remain unfulfilled. How many of you agree with it in a relationship in this world? But with Krishna, it's not like this. Krishna can completely fulfill all your expectations, even more than your expectation. And that's why we can have perfect relationship with Krishna. So when Krishna acts like a friend, perfect friend. When Krishna acts like a son, a perfect son. When Krishna acts like a lover, then perfect lover. When Krishna acts like a husband, a perfect husband. Like, can you imagine? Krishna 16,108 wives. So tomorrow the next session is also very important. We're going to discuss Krishna's life in Dwaraka in the next session. Yeah. That how the Dwaraka Krishna lived, why did Krishna marry so many queens? Like people ask this question. So all that we're going to discuss in the next class. So very, very important class, the 11th class, Krishna enters Dwaraka. So so whatever Krishna does is perfectly. And that's why he's the one person who can satisfy us completely in this world. And therefore, only when you make your relationship with Krishna, you feel satisfied. No matter whatever we do, we don't feel satisfied in this world. Krishna acts. So much so, see, Gandhari had cursed Krishna. Say, Krishna, you have let my 100 sons die. I also curse you, your dynasty will die after 28 years, something she said like that. And Krishna said, I accept the curse. There. The same Gandhari who had cursed Krishna, Krishna dealt with Dhritarashtra and Gandhari in such a way, she was also feeling separation from Krishna. Krishna is going. Can you imagine? There. How Krishna deals with every devotee. There. And Krishna loves his devotees. There. Krishna loves every jiva. But jiva don't want to love Krishna and what Krishna can do. But when Krishna sees, he's taking my name, he loves it. So I was just thinking, I was going in the train and I was seeing a girl was hitting the father. Still father was loving the girl. Same way Krishna is like this. No matter whatever we do, he loves us. Isn't it? See, no matter children what they do, you love your children. You don't never there. And the same thing Krishna feels. No matter whatever he does, oh, मेरा devotee है ना, मेरा नाम ले रहा है बस. That is sufficient. Krishna loves us so much. He doesn't forget us. There. And when he realizes, we feel very happy. And we feel very nourished because Krishna is a lover. Krishna is he loves his devotees. So when you hear about Krishna, is there. So Pandavas solid his separation. They could associate with this person, seeing him face to face. And hearing about Krishna, Nivre Tatashetapagi Yamana Bhavashadashok Mano Virama Kautam Shloka Gunanavaga Puman Virachedina Pashugna. Who will not want to hear about Krishna? Why? It's Bhavashadi. When we hear Krishna Katha from devotees who have no other material desire, such Krishna Katha is Bhavashadi. Like when we get a disease, we take a Aushadi. Now we are entangled in this mental existence. But what is the Aushadi to take us out of this mental existence? Hearing Krishna Katha. So we should want to hear Krishna Katha. Life after. Of course, if you keep hearing, you don't take birth again. There. So that is a Bhavashadi. And it is Manoviramat. Manoviramat, very pleasing to the ear. So when you hear Rukmani Mangal, how Krishna kidnapped Rukmani, when you're hearing how Krishna is going, you want to hear more and more the story. That is so amazing it is. You want to hear more about it. And Sarve ten Vishyakshe Tamanudutta Chetasa. All their hearts were melting on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes and they moved hither and thither. So they were feeling so attraction for Krishna and they were looking. Who? All the Hastinapur ladies. They were all these relatives, Yudhishthir and others. So their heart was melting. And Prabhupada writes, Krishna naturally attracted for all living beings. See, everybody gets attracted to Krishna. Even the cows get attracted to Krishna. Even the men get attracted to Krishna. Even women get attracted to Krishna. Even the trees get attracted to Krishna. When Krishna plays his flute, even trees lost themselves. What to say of the human being? The cows, the deers, Everybody loses themselves when Krishna places. So Krishna is very attractive to everybody because as a soul, we have that innate attraction towards Krishna. So just like you see, iron is attracted to magnet. It's natural or no? But when iron is rusted, does it get attracted to magnet? No. So Krishna is like magnet. So when we have a rust of lust, we are stooped into metal sense gratification, then you don't feel attraction to Krishna. But when we slowly get purified from desire for material enjoyment, then naturally you start feeling attraction to Krishna. Because that rust is remove on the iron filings, then iron filings feel the love for Krishna. And the female relatives whose eyes are flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna came out of the place. But they could stop the tears only with great difficulty. So tears were coming. Oh, Krishna is going. But they thought, okay, it will become Apshakun. So they stopped the tears. And Sri Prabhupada writes, see, now we may think that Krishna was there that time. Now we don't have association with Krishna. How we can feel attraction to Krishna? How we can feel our love for Krishna? This question comes. How many of you feel this question in your mind? That how we can feel our attraction to Krishna? Any answer? How can we feel attraction to Krishna like this? Yes, Shriram Prabhu, you want to answer?
Hearing the pastime of the Krishna.
By hearing more about Krishna's stories.
Very, very nice. Hearing more about Krishna. So Sri Prabhupada says, Krishna is absolute. Krishna is absolute. So his name, form, qualities, pastimes are not different from him. So when you're chanting Krishna's name, you're associating with Krishna. When you come and take darshan of Jagannath, you take darshan of the Lord. Even in laminations, you're associating with Krishna's form, with Krishna. When you are hearing this class, we are talking about Krishna's Vasalita, qualities, pastimes, you're associating with Krishna. And by associating with Krishna like this, we can develop attraction for Krishna. But you see, on the way, Duryodhana was there. He was personally there. Did he develop attraction for Krishna? Because he did not did any of these four things. Naam, Rup, Gud, Nida. He didn't chant in the holy names of Krishna. He didn't worship Krishna. He should have worshipped Krishna's form. He didn't hear qualities in there because there was an envy. But even when Krishna is not present, if we do these four things, chant his holy name, worship the deity or the laminations in your home, hear about Krishna, read Srimad Bhagavatam, will develop attraction to Krishna. And that is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. It trains a conditioned soul in that stage to love Krishna. It trains a conditioned soul to love Krishna. That's the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, women in Vedic. So now, the Prabhupada writes many purport about the Vedic culture, the women in Vedic culture. So try to understand. It's a very important subject. So if you have questions, I will take questions also. So please hear attentively. So out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of Kurus got up on the top of the palace. You see, ladies are on the top. So can you say why ladies are on the top? Why ladies will go on the top and men will be down? Why that was there in the Vedic culture? And another thing, why there was so much restriction between man and woman? Why so much done? What is the need of that? And whereas you see today culture, it doesn't matter. In fact, when you join company, the first thing that taught, don't differentiate between genders. Right? Those who are working. That's the first thing taught in the companies today. Don't differentiate between the genders. Also, in company, one good thing is there's a lot of restriction also. If some man is creating any problem for the woman, they immediately take action also. So that is also good things there. But overall, if you see, but then why do the Vedic culture talk about Vedic culture talk about the not having a free mixing of man and woman? Why there was so much restriction and thing there? So do you feel it is some kind of imposition or some kind of like India? If you see people talk about so much of injustices upon women, you know what the injustices upon women and thing, and now they're getting more and thing. But see, uh, if you see the recent past 200 years doesn't exactly represent the Vedic culture. Why? The Vedic culture was very much deformed in last 200 years. So what are the practices in the last 200 years may not exactly represent the Vedic culture and justify the Vedic culture. But when we are talking of a Vedic culture which was existing 5,000 years before or even 2,000 years before the coming of the Mughals, so which was in quite a more pure form during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, 2,500 years before, 5,000 years before the time of Lord Krishna. So what we are talking about position of women in the Vedic culture, not talking in the past 100 to 200 years, but a lot of family abuses, the family violence, and those cases also would happen because of untrained men. We are talking this based on reference from 5,000 years before, during Krishna's time. What was the position of the Vedic culture? Why that was the norms there? Why this society was did like that? So and now we may not apply this principle in the modern lifestyle, isn't it? There. Now, for example, those ladies who are working in the office, if they wear a sari, put a pallu and go, you will be laughed in the offices, isn't it? And you can't change the lifestyle there. So my whole this presentation is not to immediate change your lifestyle, but to know what are the right principles for a progressive Krishna consciousness, right there. And it could be applied at time according to time, place, and circumstances. But knowing the principles is important. Are you able to my point what I'm going to discuss? So it may look that we are against there, but it's not, the Vedas are not against, the Vedic culture is not against that. There is a reason for it. For example, there was a debate happening in Kerala. And what is the topic? The Manu Samhita says that women should not be given independence. So the topic was Striya no Satantartyam. So that was a topic. Now they have taken, now this is only 1/4 of the line of the full verse, right? There were one devotee, one brahmachari devotee, a senior devotee, he went in the debate. And he asked people, how many of your mothers? Everyone raise their mothers. How many want to protect your mothers? Everybody, we want to protect our mothers. Okay, how many of your wives? People say we have a wife. How many want to protect your wives? They say yes, we want to protect our wife. And all were against that statement that women should not be given independence. Okay. Then he asked, how many of you have daughters? So many raise their daughters. How many want to protect it? They all raise, want to protect it. Then Kamal Lochan Prabhu told, see what this verse says. In childhood, woman should be under father. When she got married, she should be under husband. And after husband's die, she should be under his children. And women should never be left unprotected. So does that make sense or not? So the whole Vedic culture was about protection of women, then restriction on women. And that's what we give the example how Krishna treated Draupadi, how Pandavas treated Draupadi, how Krishna treated his sister Subhadra, how Pandavas so much respectful to Kunti. So it was whole culture of respect. So it was about how women should act to have a respectful disposition and how man should act respectfully towards women. So when this respect, this culture was created, everybody lived very happily. And the one good news is progeny will be very nice because of that. The progeny, the children born with such culture, when children are born with such culture. See now, why children are becoming uncontrollable nowadays? Right? There, most of the parents have complained we are not able to control the children. Now Vedas give the answer. The first thing is you have to produce children while doing Garbhadan Sanskar. There. So when you do Garbhadan Sanskar, the children will be controlled. Now what is Garbhadan Sanskar? So in many traditional families, this Garbhadan Sanskar is followed. But before the parents want to beget the child, they come to, they just don't do it. They do spiritual practices. They take, guidance and how to do it. And ISKCON, they chant 50 rounds. So they develop a spiritual consciousness before begetting children. So it's called Garbhadhan Sanskar. More details to it. I'm just taking in a brief. So when children are produced with control mind and senses, with Krishna conscious mindset, then children are easily controlled. And it was there, that culture was there in the Vedic time. But today, because that culture is lost, so children are also very difficult to control there. Okay. Another thing is, because if the women are chaste, mothers are chaste, then naturally children also will be very powerful, born from chaste mothers. So these are the secrets, because the Vedic quality, Vedic culture was, the main aim was to produce a good praja. And to produce a good praja, good citizens, you need the good citizens need to be take birth. And to take birth, these two, three qualities are very important: chastity of woman, and and even man also, the father, the qualities of father, the chastity of woman, and sense control of both parents. So these are very important things in producing good children there. So therefore everything was very scientifically arranged to have a better thing. Now which science is completely lost? Science of brahmacharya for men and science of chastity for women, which produces great. So when we say brahmacharya, is not only brahmacharya like you don't marry, it's also brahmacharya and grahastha life there. So these two things are very important part in a nice family life. Sort of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies went. So why the ladies went on the top? Yeah, so, okay, so question, why the ladies were on the top and men were on the down in the Vedic culture? Why this was the culture there? Because, and anybody wants to answer this? Okay, Keshav.
Actually, Prabhu, I had asked this question to my grandmother during some event in I'm from Rajasthan,
Okay.
small village in Rajasthan. So there she explained that whenever such an event takes place, there is a lot of energy and people jump on each other out of excitement and all that. So the ladies generally tend to go up so that they are protected from all this chaos and no wrong mixing happens.
Yeah, this is very nice. And also, when men are above, women down, then man will be looking more toward the woman than looking on the festival. But if they're up, then people can ask, "Yare, what are you doing?" So they are protected. That's another reason. Yeah. So women in Vedic culture, they're very nicely engaged. Right. Some people say that restricted female-female association is a Mohammedan introduction further. But here we see this custom was observed even during the days of Mahabharata 5,000 years ago. Instead of coming down the open air, the ladies went up on the top of the palace and from there paid their respect to Lord Krishna by showers of flowers. So shyness is a gift of nature to the fair sex. It commands respect from the opposite sex. Proper rights. Even a woman is not very beautiful, but if she is shy, she commands respect. Shyness commands respect. Now, I'll give you even a sweeper woman. If she is shy, putting pallu, then every man respects her. The shyness, it creates a respect for women, to see the woman motherly. See, one of the important part of education, Chanakya Pandit says that what is real education? Matarvat paradareshu paradraveshu loshava atmavasar bhuteshu ya pashati sa pandita. One who sees all women other than one's wife as mother. That's a pandit. That's why sometimes when our programs happen, some young girls come and we may say Mataji, and they get bewildered. No, what is, are you considering Mataji? So because people may think Mataji means because I'm very elderly, look like Mataji and thing. No. See, the brahmacharis are trained to see women as mother. So when you see as mother, then you say Mataji, not even Bahanji. Proper explain, when you say Bahanji, what's the problem is? Today Bahanji and then tomorrow some other relationship. But when you see Mataji, there's a proper respect. So this is the Vedic culture, that you see any other woman other than one's wife, and if one is not married, one should see everybody as Mataji, right? That's just like, that means what? This says you will respect your mother, you respect everybody else. There. Okay. There. So naturally, just think of this is the culture. It solves so many of the problems, right, which happen live there. If just people learn to do that. And I know people who don't follow this, they married somebody's wife and they get into so much troubles. And so many love triangles happen because of all this. And if somebody's already married, she should be like treated like a mother. Why you have a wife? So that is a real training to man. If okay, Krishna has arranged one wife for you, you be happy with that. But don't see others as a prospective candidates and with a relationship. So life becomes much better in the world. Then other possessions of insignificant as a lump of clay. For example, किसी के घर के कचरा आप उठाओगे, somebody के घर में कचरा पड़ा हुआ, will you like to take it? No. तो same way उसका gold भी पड़ा है, don't take it. It belongs to him only. Don't take others' money. Don't take what belongs to others. Don't cheat others. See why people are getting into scams, internet scam and other things nowadays, because or share market, people want very fast wealth, and due to which people get into trouble and treat others the way you want to treat yourself. Then such a person is considered a learned man. So, but on the contrary, woman is considered like to be fire and man is considered to be like butter. And the butter must melt in association with fire. Therefore, they may be brought together only when it is necessary. See, no matter how much we may say about being gender neutrality, but it is natural when men and women come together. There will be some kind of impressing each other, some kind of difficulties, and therefore families get destroyed when people have a lot of mixing and outside and thing, and people are not like female are spending more time with their boss and males are spending more time with their female colleagues in the office. Then naturally it produces a strain in the family relationships with it there. So the Vedic culture was restricted so that everybody was very happy and loyal to their partners. Human civilization, as conceived by sages of India, was meant to promote simple living and high thinking. When the mind is always preoccupied with impressing the opposite party, there's very little chance of being sober and contemplating the higher values of life. See, man has a weakness of weak eyes, and woman has a weakness of weak ears. So if man see a good-looking woman, he gets troubled. And if a woman gets a man who flatters them, they get troubled. That's what the scriptures talk about. So man who flattered, they could be little dangerous for women. An attractive woman could be dangerous for man, which leads to a lot of problems with it. So contrary to popularized belief that Vedic culture is restrictive and exploitative toward women, it offers them great protection. Okay, before that, I want to say, actually nowadays many boys come that we want to commit suicide because our girlfriend has left and gone. So, though the modern culture we have so much free mixing, you can mix one man, one boy can mix with so much girls, but it produces so much stress and anxiety. You don't hear a husband coming and telling because my wife has left, I want to commit suicide. At least I didn't hear it. But many boys come and say my girlfriend has left me and that's why I feel called to commit suicide. So that goes to show when how the mind becomes very agitated with this free mixing, and person cannot focus on the goal of life. It creates so much thing. And for example, now when the boy and girl the free mixing comes, and then people go to the stage of abortion, so many abortions happen. But abortion is as good as a murder only, because the child is life only, the soul is there, and that leads to further complications and things there. So life has become very, very challenging. People don't find this faithfulness and things. So it's very challenging. Many parents are very concerned what they're to protect their daughters. To protect daughters in the modern age is very difficult. How to protect even sons also is not so easy nowadays because of the free culture and the free mixing. And what happens is, see, the whole Vedic Varnashram is what? There is a life brahmacharya till 25 years of age, then grahastha ashram, then vanprastha, then sannyas. So the whole goal of life is to get freedom from this desire for sex. This is a whole goal of the Vedic Varnashrama. Because till the time one gives up the desire, he cannot come out of the cycle of birth and death. So that's how these four ashramas are arranged there. And therefore there is so much emphasis upon this there. So the regulated in the regulation, the grasta ashram, and then slowly come out of it there. So that's the main reason why the scriptures are kept it restricted. And plus, when you follow this, the society becomes happy because good progeny comes and people are protected, people are happy. And therefore, this is a modern culture. And then I remember even my childhood, none of the ladies in our home will go to nearby home, even 200 meters. And even they will carry small child, but they will carry some male member to go the other house. But nowadays, my sister, she will visit everywhere alone only. She's a manager there. And I can't say so much culture come. Of course, that's what I'm saying. Many things you may not practically apply. But some things what we can follow, we can learn the principle, isn't it? There. So we know the principles. Okay, what is the principle? How it is followed. Many times when you come to the center of devotees, you may find little different. कि अरे यहाँ पे Prabhuji don't talk to Mataji and think much. Right? Many people get a why this culture, why this. So you know the reasons why it is being so much, why the culture is being made, because for protection of piety, for protection of righteousness, this all things are done, and that's why the Vedic culture is talking. Now in the modern culture, we are in an environment. Now to apply them, we will need some guidance. How to apply in a way that we go in a constructive way, not a destructive way. There. But why these principles are there, we should develop appreciation for it. There. So contrary to popularized belief that Vedic culture is restrictive and exploitative towards women, it offers them great protection. Queen Archie goes to Vaikuntha with Maharaj Prithu. Devoti seeks transcendental knowledge there. So Archie also goes Vaikuntha with Prithu. Prithu does austerities. The Vedic culture is not restrictive, rather it's meant to lead one to higher freedom there. So the woman gets more satisfied when they take care of children than doing a job there. If that, because what gives them, the nature has made the psychology of women such a way they feel satisfied when they're mothers, taking care of others. There, that's the truth. The way the body is designed. Now, many people say that man and woman are equal. Men and women are equal. So in one way, women are more greater than men because they only give birth to men. They take care of children, and that's how they. So that's why women are called Mataji, greater position there. But on the other, we say the God has given different psychologies to them, and they can't be equal. They can't be equal. There, the God has made it different. And for different, they have a different purposes, and each one are good at their own purposes. Like man can't take care of children, but women can take care so nicely. So if they do their duty, they feel happy with it. There, okay. So the modernization. So even somebody is a housewife, though in a city like Bangalore, somebody is a housewife. Hey, you're just a housewife, but a housewife is a great service. There, to cook for the family, to to cook for the family, to take care of the children. So that is a great service there. So that is a great job there, because the children will not get love. Like parents nowadays don't have time for children. The father goes to office, mother goes to office, and children are watching TV whole time. They're not taking care of things there. So even to take care of children, and that's how the future of the world is always through the children. So when we see that how the women and take care of the children and things there. So again, the point is not that I'm not saying that no woman should do job and thing, because in a city like Bangalore, things are changed. But I'm just speaking of principle that even the women who are housewives, they have a lot of good engagement. Like even you see in ISKCON also, the Matajis, they cook for the Lord, they make garland for the Lord, they take classes for children, they take classes for other Matajis. So much of engagements are there for even Matajis there, but in a very positive way and thing, not in a corporate way. Okay, any questions till now before I go further? Today I'm taking more time, but this topic now, if I cut short, then it may not be presented properly. So any questions or counter arguments? Yeah.
I have a question, Prabhuji. So basically, this job concept, I have seen my mother suffering, even if my father's family was a really well-off family. But my grandmother never gave importance to my mother, even though she was raising three children, like they are three siblings. So, because of that, my mother always wanted me and my sister to study that you're not that pretty, you're not that this thing, so you should study to make a livelihood out of your own. My mother is more prettier. She like, see, I am so beautiful, still I have no value in this family because they have some money. Even my mother's side family was wealthy, like
Even same with my mother also. She also feel if I only would have been working, it would be so nice.
so because of the torture which she had gone through, she had put like, no, we can't just marry you to like two sisters. So we can't just marry you two sisters with giving some money like dowry and all that, because we don't know, this wealth is not ours. This is your grandmother's and your whatever father. So that's what she told us, to study hard and whatever. Like then we studied and got a job and married and all those stuff. So I think our previous generation, whoever had suffered, in their young ages, like my with me, it was the case. My
Yeah.
mother
See,
told
that is why I was telling, don't see the Vedic cultures last 100 to 100 years, because
that's
there
what.
are a lot of anomalies in that. And therefore, what Vedic culture I'm talking is a 5,000 year and 2,500 years back there. So I'm already put that point, because what has happened, because dharma has gone. See how the ideal situation is: the husband follows the guru, and wife follows the husband, children follows the mother. But the gurus have lost the touch to God. So man lost touch to guru, and then all the anomalies in the family started. But when the Vedic culture, people following the dharma, they will take care of women. They will provide their needs. They will value them. All these things will happen in a Vedic time, because people were not so passionate, so proud. They learned sensitive to care for others. The sensitivity was there. Like you see, Kunti and Draupadi, are they living happily or not? What do you think? Draupadi was given value or not?
Yes.
There. Then same ways. So you see, many places women were given a lot of values in the Vedic society there, and that's why we're talking about there.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. You have a question, Swati Mataji? Would you like to ask in the there?
There's a question in chat, probably. It says like,
Yeah. Being in Kali Yuga is not an ideal situation for all. A woman need to not have a husband and no sons to take care, so who will take care of woman? And a woman doesn't have any husband, financial support, what she can do, and she has to work outside. Can you please explain your questions, Swati? You can unmute and ask. I didn't understand the question you have written in the chat. Okay, so only answer I would say. So I'm just talking about the Vedic principle and how exactly to apply in today's situation. We have to see case to case there. See, nowadays it's not advised that women should not do any job. At least they should have potential to do job, even they are housewife, because something happens, they can support themselves there. So those kind of considerations are always seen there. That's the whole point. But I'm just talking about why the Vedic culture was a happy culture and what was the point behind it. So we develop appreciation for it. That's the whole point in our presentation. And to the degree we can come close live to it is best for us. Okay. So now the transcendental qualities. The so now all these rooftop ladies, they were glorifying Krishna. They said, "Oh, the same Krishna, he is the supreme Lord who existing before creation. He's the one who glances and the material nature came. He's the same Mahavishnu." They were thinking about it. And just think, and devotees do, how glorious are the Yadus that they are always seeing Krishna. How is the Dwaraka? And then Krishna departed. And it is said that this talk of rooftop ladies was more appealing to Krishna than the talk of the Vedas. So Krishna likes to be glorified by his devotees. So I end here. Any questions? What we discussed? Any more questions on the subject we discussed? Please feel free to ask, and you can unmute yourself. You can even if ask in Hindi if somebody has a question. Okay, Gayatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
I didn't understand that slide one. Queen Archie and somebody. Who are those people?
So,
I've
Queen
never heard.
Archie. See, Queen Archie is the wife of Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj was a great king who after ruling the kingdom, went to the forest and he did tapasya and he went home to Vaikuntha. Then Archie also went with Prithu Maharaj there. Went with Prithu Maharaj to the spiritual world. That's the whole point there. Any other question?
I have a question about the kid one. You told some sanskar for the kids, right?
Yeah.
13 kids, and all that. So you told something to chant 15 rounds or 50 rounds?
Yeah. So, see, another thing, I'll direct you some grasas. You can take some guidance from them because this all things need some tailor-made guidance there, according to your level and thing. So this is for devotees who are chanting 16 rounds. So they are advised to chant 50 rounds. But those who are chanting even 1 or 2 rounds may chant little extra rounds. Choose a auspicious day, and probably can chant 8 rounds or 16 rounds. Take blessings of the Lord and do. The whole point is that begetting a child is a very auspicious and a very dharmic activity. So it should be done in a very right consciousness. Then you get a right children. That's the whole point. But when it is done unconsciously without Krishna consciousness, then you get children which you are difficult to control, basically. So we are responsible for what we get.
And this is for both father and mother, right? Both.
Yes, but father may not be devotee, then you can't force the father to chant. No. There. But whatever best possible. That's the whole point. There. So there's a question, there was no much supply chain, how India became a golden belt. See, there was a supply chain, but not working hard the way it is happening in the cities today. You got my point. There was a supply chain, naturally. There was a business, they were trading, but not the way you have to work 12 hours in the software industry.
Right. That's what I was wondering about because
No, they were traders. They were traders who would produce and things there. But not so much you have to din raat ek karke kaam nahi karna padta. You work 8 hours moderately and you're done with it. And the remaining time you give for Krishna consciousness. Now people say we have no time for Krishna consciousness.
Right.
Okay. Any other question? So please be free because today's session was little direct and very eye opener. So many questions may come. That's why I just had to give more time for question and answers.
Prabhu, I had like one more question. It was about the concept of slaughtering of animals, and that's resulting in a lot of wars. So I didn't quite understand that.
See what is happening. The karmic reactions will come when you kill animals or not. So how nature will give that karmic reactions? Now if you see, now India, I think the majority of vegetarians are in India. I think so. In the world. But other countries, 95% people are killing so much animals and even doing cow slaughter. Now, if you have to give reactions, how do nature gives reaction? You make two people fight. For example, if two people are doing mischief in the class, teacher what will do? Dono ka kaan pakad ke murga bano, right? So like that, nature will make both fight to give reactions to both of them. And the leaders will think, yeah, why is doing? Let me fight. Let me think. And that's how the Ukraine war, Russia war, they all are happening because people are killing animals in both countries, and to give the reaction, the nature is arranging this so much of of people are dying.
So can we assume that if there is any sort of collateral damage from all these things and anyone's getting some suffering, that is also arranged by nature, by Krishna, such that they also deserve that little suffering, if not death or something because of
See, one thing is, according to this world, is like a Durga, under Durga Devi. And she gives suffering, arrange suffering to the jiva according to their karmas. Like if somebody has not eaten non-veg of few lifetimes, he can go to jungle, no animal will eat him. That's what Bhishma Dev says in Mahabharata. Because he has no karma to be get eaten by animal, then why should somebody kill him? Sages go. You have seen sages go in the jungle, and wild animals don't trouble them. There. Okay, so I hope the question answers there. And as we go more deeper